PCC President Shri D.K. Shivkumar ji, CLP leader, former Chief Minister Siddharamaiah ji, Leader of Opposition in the Legislative Council, Shri B.K. Hariprasad ji, our working presidents, Ishwar Khandre ji, Salim Ahmed ji, Ramalingan Reddy ji, Dhruv Narayan ji, Satish Bhai, member of the working committee, our senior leader Muniappa ji, in charge Goa, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, former PCC President Dinesh Gundu Rao ji, former Chief Minister, our senior leader, respected Moili ji, former Deputy Chief Minister, former PCC President Dr. Parmeshwar ji, former PCC President Deshpande ji, our senior leader Rahman Khan Sahab, Deputy Leader of CLP UT Kader ji, IYC President Srinivas ji, our PRO Nachiyappan Sahab, Shri Jairam Ramesh ji, who's our MP and now our MP candidate for Rajya Sabha, all the respected members of parliaments, our respected MLAs, former ministers, senior leaders of the party, heads of the frontal organization, office bearers of the Pradesh Congress Committee, and all our friends and colleagues. First of all, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this Nav Sankalp Shivir, both on behalf of the Indian National Congress, All India Congress Committee, as also the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. I am confident that the deliberations that will take place here will pave the way for victory of the Congress Party in Karnataka in times to come. I am certain that the discussions that will take place in the 6 groups that you have constituted here, the economic affairs group as also that one to address the price rise, farmers and agriculture group, the group on organization, the group on political affairs and various agitationals and other programs, the group on social justice and empowerment, and the group on youth, women, education and employment. And I'm certain that the deliberations that will take place here will actually be the foundation and the roadmap for reorganizing us in the run-up to the assembly election and will pave the way for a resilient, strong Karnataka to be built under the Congress Party flag under your leadership. Friends, Nav Sankalp Shivir in Udaipur that was held. I'm not here to deliver a long, winding political speech. I will keep myself restricted to the issues in hand. The Nav Sankalp Shivir that was held at Udaipur, it has laid down a certain roadmap, an ideological roadmap, a political roadmap, an organizational roadmap on how do we face the challenge in various assembly elections as also the parliament election 2024. I am confident of one thing. I have interacted with large number of our leaders, our party cadre across different districts. I am confident of one thing. While all others are confident of different states, one state that is going to, where Congress Party is going to ride to power with the blessings of people of Karnataka is Karnataka. And that will only happen when people sitting in this hall and many friends whom we could not invite here because there are limitations. It's not that those outside are not important. I think they are even far more important to us for implementation of our agenda and programs. all the lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of Congress party office bearers and workers on the ground are the ones who are going to see this thing through. But you are going to be the vehicle which is going to set that agenda, carry that agenda, and ensure its implementation on the ground. And that's why all of us are here. I was discussing with Siddharamaiah ji, I was discussing with PCC President Shiv Kumar ji, that we will keep the inaugural session short so that we can have wider deliberations. I want to lay down some of the decisions that have been taken for as a roadmap for in the Nav Sankalp Shivar at Udaipur. While many of you have seen that declaration, many of you have discussed, deliberated, seen and read about those decisions, I will like to re-emphasize them here one by one. All the vacant posts, a strength of any organization is finally the leaders and workers that constitute the organization. I don't think so people sitting in the front line alone or in this hall alone can deliver what is needed to be done. So what is needed to be done? So all the vacant positions at block, district and state level, they need to be filled up over next 90 to 180 days. We have already constituted the Pradesh Congress Committee. Secretaries and some other names still need to be added, yes. I was discussing with the AICC Secretary in charge also, and one or two more colleagues will come along with Raminder Avlaji. We will get cracking on that. And we'll try to ensure, and I've requested PCC President, that over next 15 days, let's complete the executive, the secretaries and any further additions to other names to the PCC. Let's begin first at the PCC level. Then all DCC blocks and other departments, wherever a body is incomplete or needs to be completed, needs to be done over next 90 to 180 days. Why am I saying so? PCC office bearers are here. I'm told they have been assigned responsibility of areas, constituencies and districts. You need to get cracking on this. And I will interact with you, monitor with you, discuss with you on a weekly basis, and we have to see to it, and if need be, hold multiple meetings, physical and over Zoom, and ensure that this is completed. The frontal heads are here. The Youth Congress President is here. The Mahila President is here. The NSUI President is here. The Sevadal and departments heads are here. They also need to do the same. We will be holding separate meetings for each one of you. Secondly, the Congress party has decided that we will have intermediate committees, what we call the Mandal committees. Our constitution has already been amended. So, between the block and the village committee, there has to be a Mandal committee. That Mandal committee's jurisdiction has to be identified. Working presidents are sitting here. All four of you are here. As Satish Bhai said, he'll be coming. You need to sit down with the district Congress committee presidents, the block presidents, and give us within next 30 days what will be the structure or the jurisdiction of the Mandal committee. And we have to also simultaneously constitute the ward and the village committee. Third, we will be setting up very soon, within next 20 days or so, a state level war room, from where we will coordinate up to the elections and up to 2024 thereafter. We'll try and make it a standing feature in the PCC, where we will be coordinating for all these activities with you. We'll also be sending you a daily agenda. Currently, anybody, we want to encourage all our friends to go out in every district and speak every day. But what is it that we need to concentrate upon? Which are the people's issues that we need to highlight? Which are the SC, ST, OBC, minority, youth, women, students, other sections, issues we need to highlight? we'll try and send you some agenda every day through that war room. Fourthly, you would have read, there are many young friends even in this hall. I personally and the party, Mrs. Gandhi, Rahulji, everybody, we immensely respect wisdom and experience. For I believe that the wisdom and experience that you have, sir, I can never have. For that only comes with age and experience. What experience Moily Saab has, I probably at my age will never have. For that comes by facing physical situations, difficulties, challenges, and only that can come from your age and experience and various positions you held. But it is also true that the party should continue to evolve while respecting its seniors, not retiring them like the BJP. It needs to respect, it needs to get their guidance, it needs to place them on a pedestal from where they can continue to direct us, not guide, direct us. But it also needs to continue to infuse newer cadre. So 50 below 50 is the formula that Udaipur declaration evolved. I also don't fall in that bracket, for I've gone past 50. So, but there are many young friends here who are below 50. We want to encourage 50% of all office bearers hereinafter to be below 50 years of age, so that there is a right mix of experience, wisdom, age and youth. So it has to be a combination of the two. So 50 below 50 is the norm that you need to follow now in every committee that you constitute. Next, we cannot succeed if we are not the voice of the poor, the Dalits, the scheduled tribe, the backward classes, the minorities, the women and youth. So these sections need to be overwhelmingly represented in our committees, in our decision-making processes. SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women, youth. We need to re-evolve, rethink when we constitute committees, Pradesh Congress committees, district Congress committees, block Congress committees, even ticket distribution. We will need to now start thinking on those lines. That's one reason for this Nav Sankalp Shivir. I was part of that committee in the Udaipur Nav Sankalp Shivir. Jairamji is here, he was there. We thought, how do we give chance to everybody? Many times now it happens. I am there, so I'll continue to be there. If I don't vacate space as General Secretary of the AICC, how will the next person, man or woman, will get that space? So we've decided that the maximum term of any office bearer in the party, right from top to bottom, should be 5 years. Anybody who has served you, that doesn't mean you have to go out of organization, no. You can be given another responsibility. But if Randeep Singh Surjewala is AICC General Secretary, he should cease to vacate his seat the day he completes 5 years as General Secretary. He may go elsewhere, doesn't matter. That's the only way we give opportunity to larger number of people in the party. So you will also need to start looking. Whoever is the district Congress committee president who has served for 5 years, whichever block president has served for 5 years, we need to now start thinking. We need to place that person. If you want to utilize him elsewhere, fine. If he or she wants to go and serve in another capacity, fine. But we need to now ensure, starting here, if somebody has served in the Mahila Congress, in the Youth Congress for 5 years, very well. We need to then take them to the principal organization. But 5 years should be the limit beyond which we should not be serving on one post now. A issue that is deliberated often in our party is tickets to family members and relatives. So we deliberated it thoroughly, and the formula that we came out with was one family, one ticket. But somebody's family member may be working in the party for some time. We are not going to deny them completely. It would be unfair. But it's not that my son comes from America, my son comes from London, my daughter comes from somewhere, my wife who's a housewife comes from somewhere and then gets a ticket. That needs to stop. That needs to be finally curbed. If we are not saying that somebody's son, daughter, family member cannot be part of politics, why not? Everybody is entitled to be part of political life and the Congress party. But you need to serve the party on an organizational post for a minimum of 5 years to be able to be considered for nomination, for election, or any other nomination to a party post. Serve for 5 years, please by all means come and serve, contribute. It's not as if it's a complete no-no, but unless and until you have served, you can't just be parachuted onto the party and then get a MP, MLA, MLC or any other ticket to the party. That's a clear-cut call that party has taken. We have seen that while DK Shiv Kumar ji has been very active with organization, many times PCC sessions are not held, even for more than a year. Same for DCC. DCC meetings itself are not held. What I suggest to PCC president, he should discuss with working president and DCC presidents. Let's fix a date. On 1st of every month, a DCC meeting has to be held, compulsorily. On 1st of every month. That's a simple thing. Whatever is the day, it doesn't matter. Hold a DCC meeting. For some reason, it can't be held on 1st. Inform everybody, it will be held on 2nd. But for 1st, no information need to be given. Once in 6 months, a journal body, that means all PCC delegates, all PCC office bearers, all DCC presidents and others, we need to have have a PCC meeting once every 6 months, so twice a year. And once every month, a DCC meeting. Similarly, on 15th of every month, a block Congress committee meeting has to be held, where various issues and political stock taking must take place. Those instructions, I'm certain that DK Shiv Kumar ji will now issue. Same way, the PCC and DCCs, often we hold meeting, we discuss politics, we discuss political issues. We many times forget to discuss core issues affecting certain sections of people. So what we propose is, every 6 months or 3 months, at least for a DCC, and every 6 months for a PCC, let a separate session be held to discuss issues of women, SC, ST, OBC and minorities. Otherwise, those issues are overlooked by us in our journal discussion, or youth. So these 5 or 6 sections, like we are holding these deliberations of these 6 groups, that day PCC should only discuss issues in the state and DCC should only discuss issues in the district relating to these sections and nothing else. That must be done. Those instructions must go. I have given a list to PCC president. Now, with regard to certain functions, when I'll come to, but before that, I also want to say one more thing. We have, over the years, Congress is a democratic party. Everybody should be permitted to say everything, and I can disagree with you, you can disagree with me, no problem. We must respect each other's opinion. That respect should not, but when that Lakshman Rekha of discipline is crossed, then it harms the party and it harms the very tree you are part of. So this quest to go out and give jnana to the party through the media has to stop. We have 13, 14 months to elections. You are not realizing that by getting those 4 minutes of fame in the media, you are undermining your own character, your own position, and you are compromising the position of the party. I can disagree with you. What is the difficulty? But I should be able to go and tell my IYC president, my PCC president, my CLP leader, my council leader, my CWC member, my DCC president, my PCC office bearer in charge, that here is the problem. But when I go and give jnana through the press to the party, you are cutting the very tree, the branch of which you are sitting on. It undermines your position and it undermines the position of the party. So please, with folded hands, I request you, we have to curb this urge to get 2 minutes of television fame or one newspaper story and ultimately harm the cause. I come from the land of Mahabharata, and there it says that you have to keep looking at the eye of the fish. अर्जुन को जब निशाना लगाना है तो उसे मछली की आंख देखनी है, और वो मछली की आंख ये है कि कर्नाटक में जब तक कांग्रेस दोबारा नहीं आएगी, न कर्नाटक के लोगों का कल्याण हम कर पाएंगे, न हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को ताकत दे पाएंगे. I also want to say, there have been, we only had, for example, 2 council seats. We only have 1 Rajya Sabha seat where we have clear majority. There were many, many friends who were capable. There were many friends who wanted to be nominated. There were many friends, I have no hesitation in publicly saying so. There were at least over 2 dozen people who should have been nominated to the Legislative Council. There were over a dozen people who should have been sent to the Rajya Sabha. Party, the CLP leader, the PCC president, the AICC can only give tickets to as many as your strength. Can I give tickets to 10 Rajya Sabha members? Sonia ji sure enough can't do so. Can you nominate 20 MLCs? Neither can Congress president nor can PCC CLP do so. So I want to tell all my friends, Congress party in Karnataka will not leave a single worker behind. It's our promise to you. But you need to empower it so much. If you were in power, if you had 150 MLAs, then you would have got 10 seats. What is the difficulty? Then all other workers or leaders who either could not contest or could not be represented, they would have been all nominated. We would have all taken them in. Somebody would have served in some other capacity where they would have contributed meaningfully to the welfare of the state. So you also need to think. First, we need to bring the party to power. 150 plus target needs to be achieved. Only if I'm able to achieve the target, then only will we be able to empower each one of you and through you to the people of Karnataka. So, while there were many disappointments, many disagreements, but I want to say, disappointments are fine. We will address those disappointments. But disappointments should not become dissensions. Then it's harmful to you and it's harmful to the party. You need to take that into account. We will be celebrating 75th year of India's independence. the Indian National Congress, the All India Congress Committee has decided that we must undertake a 3-day Padyatra between 9th August to 15th August. These we have also given a name. They are Padyatra to commemorate 75 years of India's independence, because you represent that legacy. It is the Indian National Congress that fought for India's freedom. Those who were puppets of the Britishers are sitting in powers in the citadels of power in Delhi today. They were puppets. They supported the British. They wanted India to be divided, both in Sindh as also in West Bengal, the then joint Bengal. They passed resolution for division of India into India and Pakistan. The predecessors of the current BJP, they were in cahoots with Muslim League and formed governments in Sindh and joint Bengal. They shared power with them, and there in the assemblies they passed resolutions for division of India, and they are giving us gyan. So you are the true inheritors of the freedom movement. The idea of this 3-day Padyatra is to tell the people, and it has to be undertaken in every district. PCC president, CLP leader will participate, council leader will participate, former PCC presidents, our AICC office bearers can only participate in one district. So some leader, MP, MLAs, former chief ministers, former PCC presidents, everybody needs to be assigned one district each. So that 3-day Padyatra, you can decide the route, etc. It has to be undertaken on any 3 days between 9th and 15th of August. Idea is to facilitate, commemorate 75 years of India's independence and contribution of the Congress party, not only in the freedom movement, but in creating a modern, resilient India. And the challenges that exist before India and before Karnataka today. How the 40% commission Bombay government is undermining the very welfare of Kannadigas. How 50 lakh, 1 crore, 5 crore rupees have been taken for recruitment of a single police sub-inspector. How the money meant for scheduled castes, 300 crores have been siphoned off. How every department and scheme of the government is being used to siphon off money by the Bharatiya Janata Party and its leaders. How SC, ST, OBC minorities and attack on them is being used as a designed tool to hide their failures. How it is difficult to cook food today for an ordinary person, whether he belongs to general category or the deprived categories. How it is impossible to find a job for your son and daughter in Karnataka today, for jobs on sale are apparent in this government driven by bribery, corruption and nepotism. If we are not going to so these are challenges after 75 years. So we need to propagate this, and the working presidents and PCC president will do so. Youth Congress, IYC president and state president is here. You have to undertake a Rozgar Do Padyatra as we decided. I'm sure you have already sensitized the state unit. Starting 15th of August. And its route district-wise and then state-wise need to be decided by you along with NSUI and Youth Congress. You should be leading this yatra. Same way, for state level, Mekedatu Yatra was actually a consolidator. That when people see divisions in the state, when you see differences between me and George Saab, when you see differences between me and Rahman Khanji, when you see difference between me and Dr. Saab, then the party gets weakened. If there is an impression that the leaders at the top the top 50, 100 leaders are fighting among themselves, then the message of division will undermine you. Mekedatu Yatra was a classical example where the entire party cadre rose in unison. And it became an example of how we are united. It's the unity of the party and its leadership and cadre that will ultimately help you win the election. The political landscape has changed. I think Congress party has done yeoman's work both inside the assembly and council, also on the ground in the organization. And you need to be commended for that. I have no words to commend with the kind of work you have done. I think it's astounding and outstanding. But we need to now raise our voice region-wise. Bombay, Karnataka has certain issues. Kalyan, Karnataka has certain issues. So various regions have various issues. Mahaday is an important issue that we need to address. Other drinking water and irrigation projects we need to address. So please design, I request the PCC president, please discuss with other leaders. And over next 3 months, we need to announce in which region, what kind of function over a period of 10-15 days, whether in shape of a yatra or otherwise we need to undertake. And that needs to culminate right up to the assembly election. Lastly, I also want to say 15th of August will be 75 years of India's independence. All of you are leaders in your own right. In every block, in every district, and at the state level, let's organize under the banner of the Indian National Congress mammoth functions. Every block, if possible, every city, every village, and one at the state level. And PCC president should assign duties. Zamir Saab should go at one place. Revanna Saab should go at one place. Randeep should go somewhere else. Like this we need to depute. So that there is one leader somewhere. One leader is assigned a duty, one PCC office bearer is assigned a duty. Please ensure that that happens. Last but not the least, I want to say, BJP feels that cash and caste will carry the day for them. Many people in our party may also feel that. Because Bharatiya Janata Party has demolished the culture of service in our state as also in country. For they believe through money bags they can buy everything. But let me say, cash and caste or cash and religion can't carry the day. Unless and until we have organization backing us, issues supporting us, cadre hands in hand with us, no day can be carried, no constituency can be carried. And this crab culture of bringing everybody else down will not help anybody. Unless and until I support Dinesh to go forward, I support Raminder Avla to go forward, I support Nasir Hussain to go forward, I support Narayan Swami to go forward, we will not progress. So we need to hold each other's hand and support each other. And we need to move away from this. The deliberations that you will take place today. There will be a final resolution tomorrow. And they will be in the deliberation, finally the chairman of the respective groups may say 50 suggestions came. But in the final declaration, only 2 or 3 may find space. All those points will be put to the Political Affairs Committee in the state that we propose to constitute. Udaipur has also decided that we will be constituting a Political Affairs Committee of certain seasoned, experienced leaders to guide the party on certain fundamental issues. So all these we will be sending to Political Affairs Committee, and they will then see how should each one of those suggestions be implemented? I agree that this is a closed door. After this session, everything else is closed door discussions. I would request you, it is not to be recorded. It's a free exchange of ideas. Feel free to say anything you may like, because that's the only way some conclusions will come out. If you are not speaking freely, how will the party know what should be done? So you need to speak freely. The chairperson and the other colleagues will note down all the points, will come out with final conclusions. Those will send to Political Affairs Committee. Some of them will find space in the declaration. But this is the way ahead. This is what we need to follow. We need to keep our deliberations over 2 days more focused, more businesslike, instead of indulging in personal criticism of each other. We need to see how we proceed ahead to serve Karnataka, to actually make it a truly progressive, cohesive, and surging ahead state, a state that would aspire to be a model for every other state in the country. I think that's one objective of this session. I have taken some time. You've heard me patiently. I want to thank each one of you for coming here from the core of my heart, and I wish that your deliberations will be successful. You will be, up to the last person sitting there, you will be able to guide the party into ensuring a victory for the party in 2023. Thank you. Jai Hind.
ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮನವ ಮುಟ್ಟುವಂತೆ